tell me a bit about your ex? I personally really love to hear about my partner's past, his ex-partners, because I think our romantic connections really shape the people we become because we often spend a lot of time with them. So to me, I just find it really interesting. I think that's because I'm quite an inquisitive person, especially when it comes to people's like psychology and emotions. So yeah, I really love to know about his dynamic between his exes when they were together. It doesn't actually bring jealousy up in me, but I think that's because I'm in the know. When you get a sense of the full picture, you're not left guessing. When you're left guessing, you can assume, oh, they were just so happy together and she was this great girl and oh my God, she probably didn't fart in front of him or, you know, get angry at nothing like I do on my period. It's so easy to assume that they were this amazing person and to glamorize the ex. Obviously, you want your partner to communicate their history in a respectful way. But yeah, I genuinely think that speaking about the past is really important for the present. Hello, my lovely. I'm Alessia Sotherberry. It's so nice to be sat with you. Today, we're going to be talking about jealousy. Something that all of us experience. It's a human emotion. I'm done with hearing people say that they don't get jealous. They never experience jealousy. Obviously, some of us are really equipped to handle jealousy and we handle it really maturely and we don't let it interfere with our relationships. But I think all of us do experience it. I would say that I am able to really healthily deal with my jealousy now. So I'm not defined by it. I'm not a jealous person. But that doesn't mean that I don't experience jealousy. I do. It comes up. Jealousy can be a really beautiful thing because it can show us that we want more. When people show up that are really great and we get jealous of them, it just shows that we want to feel great, that there's stuff missing from our lives that we want to continue improving. It shows that actually we want growth, in my experience anyway. Jealousy has only cropped up when someone beautiful inside and out has showed up and made me go, oh, I want to be more like that. I don't feel great in myself right now. So I really encourage you to reflect inward because I think a lot of the time when jealousy crops up, it's so easy to be like, oh, I hate you. You make me feel so bad. I wish you would fail. It's so easy to, point your finger rather than go, oh, what does this say about me? And that's not me saying that you're in the wrong and you should feel ashamed for feeling jealous. Like, no, you don't need to be defined by the jealousy. You can choose to look inward and learn from it and deal with it in a really mature way. I think it's your actions that define whether you're a jealous person or not. If you're acting on the jealousy and you're causing unnecessary arguments and being unnecessarily unkind to the person you're jealous of, then you are a jealous person. And that's something that I wouldn't be proud of personally. But yeah, you've come to watch this video, so clearly you want to deal with this in a healthy way. And I take my hat off to you. I'm not actually going to because, yeah. I really want you to have a pep talk with yourself and be like, oh my God, there is a great person who's showing up and my partner is friends with them. Maybe it's the ex, oh God, the ex is going to be at this party and she's so beautiful and she's so funny. And, I think they ended amicably and oh my God, what if that means that there's a chance, he'd want to go back there. She's just so great. If you've got all this dialogue in your head, I really encourage you to pause it, to literally say to yourself, okay, let's pause for a second. Why am I so great? What makes me me? I really encourage you to reflect on all your unique traits, all your hobbies, all your passions, all the things that you've done, and say to yourself, wow, I'm really unique. Nobody in the world has all the unique characteristics and traits that I have. My partner's never going to find another me. So yeah, that other person is great, but so am I. I think it's really important that we take a breather and nurture ourselves with kind, positive self-talk. I actually think sometimes when you're experiencing jealousy, the worst thing you can do is keep it bottled up and continue being around the people that are making you jealous or your partner and just pretending like nothing's wrong, because usually that does end up in you acting out a little bit, saying something below the belt, something you don't mean. I think it's actually really good to just take yourself off and have a pep talk with yourself in your own company, in a safe space where it's nice and quiet, so you can really just focus on the jealousy. I don't think jealousy is something we should just ignore, and it's quite a difficult thing to hit pause on and be like, okay, I'll come back to that later. It's something I think we have to address quite quickly, because it's a very overpowering emotion. It can lead to you having like a fast beating heart and maybe feeling a little bit sicky and a little bit higher on adrenaline. Remind yourself of why your partner is so lucky to be with you, because they are so lucky to be with you. You know that deep down, I hope. I really hope you do. I know that. I have moments where I feel really insecure, where I don't feel good enough, and I regularly give myself pep talks. Another good thing to do, if you're a visual person, is to show yourself why you're so great. Show yourself that you have this life and this personality and these people that love you. Go through your camera roll and look at all your old videos and photos with your friends, or the birthdays you've celebrated, or the memories you've made. You have a life, you have your people outside of your partnership. Look through your Pinterest boards. Look how much you get excited about the world, about fashion, about travel. Look through your notes app on your phone. I write all my best ideas in my notes app, and I know that's quite a common thing. So yeah, remind yourself of your creative mind, your ideas. Go through old texts with your best friends. See what you've said to each other. See how loved you are. Wear a cool outfit. Spend a bit extra long getting ready and wear an outfit that you really want to wear, a really edgy, cool outfit. Not one that's going to please the male gaze, one that's going to please you. That's what I did today. So yeah, I just really encourage you to take some time for yourself, to maybe say to your partner, I'm going to have the day to myself today. I'll catch up with you later. Maybe watch a movie together later. We can do some magic and we can turn the jealousy, something that feels quite negative, into something positive. We can turn it into self-love, an excuse to look inwards, to compliment ourselves, to shower ourselves with love. Oh, you're this great person. I want you to feel that by the end of the day, or the end of the couple of hours you've taken for yourself. And can I also say, there was a time in which you existed, thrived, laughed, had good times without your partner. Obviously, you don't want the breakup. Maybe you do, I don't know. But it is good to remind yourself that you have existed and been okay without your partner. You do not need to worry that your life is just going to stop if you're not with your partner anymore. You've got this. You're an amazing, attractive, cool person. You're going to attract so many people into your life.
Jealousy can end up controlling you, because it can put you in this position where you're feeling like you're lacking so much and everybody else's lives are so great, everybody else is so successful, so beautiful, so funny, so intelligent, that we feel, oh, well, there's nothing that I can do. It's completely out of my control. I'm going to have to beg my partner to stay with me. Poor me. Being in this position is it's such a vulnerable place to be. It's such a miserable place to be. I really think that it's important that we remember how powerful we are, how in control of our lives we are, how much more growth is to come, you're going to have a bright future. I just know it. I know it because you clearly have a thirst for knowledge, hence you're watching this YouTube video. And I always think people that are really keen to learn and expand their minds are destined to grow and become strong people and to evolve. If you allow yourself to evolve, then you're going to work through this jealousy. I just know that.
So, I really do think that it's good to externalise anything that you're really in your feels about. If you're really struggling to get through your day because your mind is just filled with, oh my God, but what if this and what if that? You need to externalise the inner mess. So I really encourage you to just go and journal somewhere in nature, or literally say it aloud in your bedroom if you're home alone or something. I'm feeling jealous. I'm jealous of ... Sometimes when we get it out of our heads, it stops it from spiraling and going so crazy and feeling so heavy. It's funny, I'm doing therapy at the moment and I've had to write down some of my anxious thoughts. And as soon as I've written the thought down, it just weighs on my mind so much less. And I read it back and I think, oh, okay, I get why I was feeling that and worried about that, but actually I don't need to be. The power of externalizing your thoughts. How many times have I said that on this channel? Anyone who watches my videos will know I say that all the time. But I do really believe that, yeah, writing things down, saying things to another human can be so liberating, and you deserve to free it from your body, from your head. I'm sure if you're anything like me, you've got a lot to deal with up here anyway. You've got a chaotic mind. So yeah, don't keep it in. Talking of not keeping it in, I also encourage you on a separate occasion from your journaling session where you're just saying exactly what's coming to your mind without a filter. I also encourage you to, if it really is on your mind and you're in a healthy relationship where you feel like you can be honest and communicate, I really encourage you to go to your partner and be vulnerable and be like, look, I'm feeling a bit jealous. This particular situation triggered this in me. Let them know, fill them in, because actually your partner is there to chat these things through with you. Your partner should be really willing and ready to reassure you as well. If you're really jealous of the ex-girlfriend, if you're finding yourself stalking her on Instagram or something, I really encourage you to stop yourself from doing things in a kind of secretive way. I really encourage you to just go to your partner and be like, can you tell me a bit about your ex? I personally really love to hear about my partner's past, his ex-partners, because I think our romantic connections really shape the people we become, because we often spend a lot of time with them. So to me, I just find it really interesting. I think that's because I'm quite an inquisitive person, especially when it comes to people's psychology and emotions. So yeah, I really love to know about his dynamic between his exes when they were together. It doesn't actually bring jealousy up in me, but I think that's because I'm in the know. When you get a sense of the full picture, you're not left guessing. When you're left guessing, you can assume, oh, they were just so happy together and she was this great girl and oh my God, she probably didn't fart in front of him, or, get angry at nothing like I do on my period. It's so easy to assume that they were this amazing person and to glamorize the ex. So I don't know, I think it's great to just have an open dialogue about the past, about the exes. I realise that actually some people have the exes as an off limit. Off limit? Off. Well, you can't talk about them. You're not allowed to mention the ex. Personally, I actually think that probably means that the ex is always looming over the relationship. Obviously, you want your partner to communicate their history in a respectful way. And I hope they do that. You deserve that. But yeah, I genuinely think that speaking about the past is really important for the present. But yeah, definitely choose your moment wisely. I really encourage you to strike up the conversation about the ex in, a safe environment when you're both feeling relaxed, not when you're both feeling quite tense or you're, about to go to sleep. That's never a good time. I always feel like that's the time when you're most likely to have an argument, before bed. That might just be me, but yeah, I just really encourage you to maybe go out for a nice coffee together. It's the weekend, you're feeling relaxed, and be like, oh, do you know what? I actually recently watched a video. This girl called Alessia Southerberry. She said to have a conversation with your partners about their exes. So this is what I'm doing. One thing that I really want to say is, don't play it cool. Don't be that person that's like, oh, I'm not bothered. I don't care. I'm way better than the ex. I'm way better than her. Don't be that person. Don't be that person that has this massive bravado when really you're insecure inside. Be blimmin' honest. Honesty is the best policy, and I really mean that. I've done the bravado thing in the past, and it does not do any good for you or your partner. It can be scary to be vulnerable and to have a little cry, have a little sharing session. Oh, this person's just making me feel really insecure and I'm not sure how you feel about them. That can be a really raw thing to do. It can make you feel like you're really exposing yourself, but that's what relationships are about. If you don't want to be raw and vulnerable and honest, then to be honest, I don't think you should be in a relationship. I don't mean that in a nasty way, but that's what relationships are. They're about getting to know each other. Relationships, in my opinion, aren't about just playing pretend, acting like everything's okay. That's really not what they're for. I think it's really easy to convince yourself that pretending not to be jealous and actually pretending to be like really overly confident is going to make your partner more attracted to you. It's really easy to convince yourself that that's actually going to benefit your relationship and make them feel closer to you. But, everybody struggles with something. So if you can be vulnerable, it allows your partner to be vulnerable back. If you're constantly trying to be the strong, I don't care, you're lucky to be with me, and I just think I'm so much better than this person, then your partner's never going to be able to be vulnerable with you, and you're never going to be able to feel like this relationship is genuine. How can you build trust if you're not going to have the hard conversations, if you're not going to give anything vulnerable to test the relationship and the trust in the first place? I know as women we're often taught to focus on being attractive, on being beautiful and sassy, but being vulnerable is hot. Having a little cry and a little share, in my opinion, brings you closer together, improves your sex life, improves your self-esteem in the long run. And if our partner can't hold our vulnerability, then they're not the right person for us. Playing the cool card does not build trust, it does not build closeness, and it does not build self-confidence. And I really encourage you to maybe have a journaling session, like I said earlier, with yourself beforehand, so you're not just unleashing all this emotion on them. Get your act together a little bit before. So then you're just sharing with your partner and you're letting them know where you're at, rather than being like, oh my God, I'm so jealous and this is so rubbish and I can't do this and you've made me feel like this. Take time to understand things yourself first. Understand what's at the root of the jealousy. Is it coming from you? Is it coming from low self-esteem? Is it coming from a lack of communication generally in the relationship? You don't really know much about your partner's past, and that's left you trying to put all the puzzle pieces together. Maybe you need your partner to put the puzzle together so you can just be like, oh, okay, so it was like that. That's why it didn't work. That's what drew you to them. That's why you guys got along, got together. Okay, cool. Well, we're here and we get along really well. We're really good at doing this, which you struggled with in your past relationship. Okay, I understand. I think as human beings, we like to know the details so we're not left guessing. If you share vulnerably with your partner how you're feeling, and you do it in a really kind of communicative, healthy way, not kind of labeling or name calling, you just say, look, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm feeling. And they don't reassure you. Maybe they get defensive. Maybe they make you feel more on edge and more jealous. Likelihood is that you're not the issue here. It's them. Maybe your jealousy is actually a gut instinct that something's off, that this isn't the right relationship, that this isn't your person, that this isn't what you want, that maybe you know deep down that you deserve better and that this person doesn't respect you. There's only so much that I can put out there. I think we all have our own reasons for feeling jealous and having issues with our partners, and it's for us to kind of unpack that in our own time with our journals or with our besties. Get to the root of your jealousy. Let me know if you have any revelations after journaling, after having a good think about it, after watching this video. Please comment in the comment sections and let me know your thoughts on this. I find jealousy really fascinating. I really love to know what makes people jealous, not in like a weird, nasty way, but in like a, oh my God, it's so human and it's such a vulnerable thing. And I think it's beautiful when we can be open about our jealousy and be like, well, this is what I've struggled with. This is what I get jealous about. I think it's really beautiful when we can share that with our friends, with our partners. I actually think it shows a lot of self-confidence, the ability to be vulnerable and to be like, yeah, I found that quite hard. I got quite jealous of that person. I just think that's actually really attractive and really healthy. So yeah, I hope this has made you feel good and helped in some way. I really appreciate you watching to the end. If you did, please like the video so I know. And I'll see you soon with another video, probably next week. I've been on a bit of a roll recently, posting every week, which is surprising because I've actually told myself I don't have to do that. Anyway,